This post looks at the case of Gurman v. Barr D&D claim against the Crown and the Social Crusade on the Mrs. Doubtfire issue, with Chris and Josh brought in. And what we're doing is we're using 533 and for the plaintiff 418 Squadron and alumni, plus the leadership concepts in D&D. And we have here an Acrobat file with some of the clipped graphics, and this would have been current for all of the co-defendant physicians, but specifically targeting the psychiatric community with the issues on knowledge and perception and institutional factors, plus some of the leadership issues brought in for the cadets as well to rebut facts recommendations. So you have to be able to rely on the leader to get the job done and have confidence in yourself, etc. So looking at the effective definition, it talks about the mission, people, stability, legitimacy with this integrated leadership model. And that really puts the plaintiff in charge of the show, vice the psychiatric community or the court. So on the other hand, we have to meet the rule of law at the same time, so house arrest, etc. But it also talks about none of us are above the rule of law, and that includes Crown liabilities and defamation and similar issues as well. So to support the welfare of the applicants, we have the Singh report and the human rights issues in play, plus ethics and operations for LWEL and onwards, and it talks about the CO, not the MO, is responsible for health and wellness. And the arbitrary and unfair policies would be any mandated meds that we didn't concur to. So, and the impact of the medical issues would be loss of LVC, rebutted with this health for pilots, and it talks about medications which are or are not allowable, which would have been the White experience as well. So, using this foreship, we have a model, and this is based on the interface design email of mid-02, and talks about designing a battleship game and such. And that gives us a rather complex object model as well, but generally speaking, the pilot's in the front and the specialist in the back. And we also have information sharing with the battle space, and that's the point to the YouTube posts with this Classroom Bubbles exhibit. And this searches cyberspace and stores the issues we need in the form of URLs, and specifically rebuts the memory of the teacher, and that's hearsay diagnostics and misunderstandings in the record that we're looking to correct. And also talks about obeying lawful commands and protecting the welfare of subordinates, which happen to be incompatible with Crown's direction. So in order to fix this, we have here the F model Super Hornet, which is an upgrade of the CAF B model through the U.S. Marines D model, and then on to the F model is a bit of a hardware upgrade. And we have a software implementation as well called the Strike Hornet that runs on Microsoft technologies, and Repaint brought in with Microsoft FSX and this FS Repaint as well. So has the players in the record with Mr. Langess primarily in the rear seat for facts, and the plaintiff in the front, and the Social Crusader faxes. Plus it's a bit of a canvas for GIS solutions, and also draws attention to the D&D record, starting with Cadet wings back in 79, on through CAF wings in 83, the transfer to the Sup Reserve following 408, and then the TC experience, which just made essentially the same mistake twice. So anyway, we've borrowed some clips from a number of different sources, including the Raytheon graphic here, and this is FaxWeb 3, the Return of the Jaded, and some of the graphics linked out from their online resources. And this is basically the aviation community taking on the psychiatric community for what they did do, which is try meds, and what they didn't do, which is to get the social value systems and such. So we have an optical suite and a fairly complex object model, including laser-guided bombs, SLAM missiles, HARM missiles, and such. And that shows in this type of graphic here with the accelerated solution software adaptation showing. And again, glass in the front seat, which maps to pretty much any web browser, and a missionized rear seat based on the U.S. Marines D model shown here with the side stick controllers. And with our clip graphics, we have a laptop application with the driver's seat shown for the plaintiff, and the stored attacks, etc. for the rear seat. And this also shows the GIS as well. So this is the battle plan coming out of the Bland office through Ben & Jones with the typical buttons and presentation. And this is a look at the GIS solutions as well with the AHE Forensics Ward and some of their reports that went to Crown that got buried along the way. Primarily Singh, which negated any pre-existing condition and recommendations that basically lead nowhere. So there's also an air-to-air mode in the software showing here Ben Barr and one of the accelerated solutions clients with zones and ranges, and look at what's possible with the plaintiff's skills in GIS technology. And of course all of this could be posted airside as well. So with the 418 crowd looking on, we have the Super Hornets coming in, and of course there's the dodge and spin and threat emitters coming from the co-defendants, primarily D&D and Capital Health. So model that with SAMs, etc., and the medevac for the Monster Mash. Brought across as well through the CIC, through the cadets and leadership model with ground side implementation, and that has an R70 soft air assault rifle, and showing here Microsoft Streets and Maps for ground side real-time GPS presentation. So it's all part of the plan, and it shows a multimodal mission management system. And here's a look at the R70, and it's GPS enabled as well, and has laser scoping, etc. So feeds internet technologies, showing here the upper left CDI zooming in on the battle plan, and from FSX graphics, something of a video game with threat emitters again presenting LFWA and Ben & Jones, Fax, Curtis Woods, and St. Albert. So looking out for the tort issues and scanning the cyberspace with our sensors, either the media scan or Microsoft Live Earth or whatever's available through that. We show a presentation showing here the forensics, and this is really a metaphor for the issues they should have caught as well from the chap, and also the D&D's leadership model. So together it's a bit of a data structure, and again shows the pilot and onwards. So back to D&D's leadership concepts, we have institutional factors in leadership, and the distributed goals and mission success and values-based leadership. And some of the issues in the book talks about idealized images and a bit of a philosophical tack on that, which is the high and lowest panel, and Fathers for Justice movement for shared parenting and that sort of thing. And that's really where we conflict with the consent order and such. So knowledge-based generation, and the GIS brings in Canada Place and the College of Physicians headquarters, and CHA's Forensics Ward now housed in the CN Tower, for a zoom in at look at the aerial photography and visual strike as can be implemented through this. And we also have the harm stage showing the rebuttals to assertions like explain the risks and benefits of Wellbutrin, and no objections were noted, and that sort of thing. So from Raytheon's graphics, here's the harm in play, and just following on our previous model with groundside rebuttal forensics, we can knock this off. And just close with a look at Fly Past the Tower in Moose Jaw to end the previous clip with the F model in flight, and onwards and upwards from here.